Hello everyone and welcome back to Adventures of WellUmMe, and today I have another review for you. This is for a game that has been launched on the PS4, Xbox One, the PC and the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to be reviewing the Nintendo Switch copy, so look forward to this review and let's get into the details. Has Been Heroes is the latest game from Frozenbyte, and it's available on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox One. The copy that I have today is from the Nintendo Switch, and it is the retail version, which you can buy in Australia from EB Games as the physical copy. Otherwise, you can buy it on the eShop if you want a digital copy. So Has Been Heroes is an action strategy game which features a lane-based combat system as the main component of the gameplay. In the game, you take control of 3 heroes, and you have to escort 2 princesses to school. Yes, that is the entire story of the game. Along the journey, you will have to face off against many undead creatures in the likes of living skeletons, and then you finish off by fighting a pirate ghost. Anyway, this is what I've experienced so far. I haven't 100% completed the game, but pretty much it's that on repeat. As for the story, it is expressed through a cutscene for the intro to the game. On launch, you have a brief prologue chapter, which is the tutorial. It teaches you how to play, and then after you finish a particular gameplay, you get a cutscene introducing a new character at the end. So you head off on your journey. You have your 3 characters. You start this by selecting a new game. It's the first thing that appears on the menu, so why not? You're given your 3 heroes to play as. The first ones you get are the rogue, the wizard, and the knight. And each of these heroes plays differently, which is good because they have their own pros and cons, and it changes the gameplay quite a lot. So the rogue is a faster character, multiple hits, weaker than the knight, who's the buff tank kind of character, and you can get perks throughout the game, which you can add to other heroes as well, but you find certain items work better for the rogue. The knight, like I said, is the big buff character, has 1 hit, deals massive damage compared to the other characters, and the wizard is the weakest of the lot, deals 2 hits, but when you have spell damage, it does a lot more from the wizard. So that's how you start the game, which it's great. You've got the variety, and as you play through the game, you unlock new characters. So, for example, I think the first character that I unlocked was the lute player, the musician, who replaces the wizard. The second character I unlocked was a wrestler who replaced the knight, so on and so forth. They have different abilities. Some have more stamina, some will have more health, some are stronger, some are weaker, all that stuff. It's very complicated in the likes. And although Has Been Heroes is available on multiple platforms, I feel as though it's more suited towards the Nintendo Switch. And the reason behind this is I feel that it is a portable game at its core. As much as it is on all consoles, it is very quick gameplay. It's not very heavily story based. It is really just pick up and play, not worrying about the story and just going from there. And I think it is reflected within the price tag of the game. It's $40 retail in Australia, and most big games in Australia you're paying around $80, $90. So it kind of is reflected in that price tag. I feel as though it aligns more with the PlayStation Vita and the Nintendo 3DS game range compared to the home console gamer. The gameplay to me has felt as though it would be great for playing while on public transport, while you're on holiday and you've taken a console away with you, or anywhere that you would take a handheld device as opposed to a home console. And that is where I think the game shines on the Nintendo Switch, because you can sit at home and play for short bursts, or you can just pick it up and head out, go to a friend's house and play the game. The game is constantly saving progress every time you pick it up, every time you perform an action, it's saving. So you can quit the game and you'll end up back in the same spot that you were last time. I found this really good, because I can be playing through half a level and go, alright, I need to just stop, I'm getting frustrated because I keep losing. It's really difficult. And then I can just pick it up and play from exactly where I was, 2 days down the track if I wanted to. Because the game is very short of story and I suppose general gameplay, it's really, really suited for that portable play. And the fact that I can be on the train and go, oh, there's my stop, finish the level and play, and quickly, pack it up and off I go, it just reinforces that portability of the game. Now, the game is full of unlockables, which I absolutely love. This is between the levels that you can play on, the enemies you face, the items you can equip, the spells you learn, the characters you unlock. It is just full of it, and that is one area where I think the game is just packed to the brim. Trying to do it as a completionist type run, it would be hard. I really struggled as the game progressed. It just gets harder and harder as you go through. So for me, playing this game, as frustrating as it is, at least even when you lose and you don't complete certain things, you still unlock different things. The only things you won't unlock if you lose around are the characters that you unlock. So in this, you collect souls of the skeletons that you defeat, and then at the end of a play, they're tallied up into this total, and you unlock some items from it. If you beat a single run by defeating the pirate ghost at the end, you also get a whole lot of items unlocked and a new character, which is great because you get a cutscene to introduce the character as well. The way that you get the characters, essentially, you play through in the first time, I believe it's 2 sub-levels and then a last level where you fight the boss. Once you beat that, you unlock a character. And when you go and play your next round, you have 3 sub-levels and then the boss. And then 4 sub-levels and the boss, and so on and so forth. I believe there is 9 different, 7 or 9 different challenges, it's an odd number, to go through. And it unlocks and it shows you, and it's based around the different elements within the game. So you've got your frost spells, so there's a frost boss. You've got your fire spells, so there's a fire one. And it's always the final boss that takes that form. And there are mini bosses in between that you have to fight, and it's really challenging. That's the one thing that I found. You start off, you're kind of alright with the first playthrough, and then it's just crazy. Like, I think have beaten the game 4 times through now, so I have to complete like 6 or 7 quests before I get to the final boss now. And I'm struggling. I find it's really hard, and that's one area where I think the game downfalls a little bit, because it is quite challenging and I'm struggling to beat the game. One of the cool things is when you unlock different characters, they do have that completely different vibe about them, completely different playstyle. So that is one thing that when you finally do get past that struggle and you're frustrated like crazy, when you do eventually unlock that character at the end, it's awesome. And one of my favorite characters is like the tiger. It reminds me of Kung Fu Panda. I love the knight because it's just, you know, the hard hitter. But I haven't unlocked any other characters within the rogue category. So I'm looking forward to actually unlocking them as I go through. On first impressions of the game, I thought that this game I'd be able to complete and review it within the week, like 100% completed. But I will say that I am wrong. I underestimated the difficulty. Like I said, it can be very frustrating, but in the end, it is enjoyable when you do unlock that things. You feel the real sense of reward by unlocking the different characters in that throughout the game. The music is very reminiscent of your standard fantasy movie or fantasy role-playing game. It's very great. It's in the background. It's not a very heavy part of the game. It's not a sole focus of the game, but it's just there, and it's got this very great ambient appeal to it. And then you've got your little quirky sound effects from different things, the sounds of the enemies dying, the sounds your characters make when they're hitting things. Just all these different sounds coming together, the sound effects and the music. It's a really enjoyable experience. And the visual appeal of the game as well. It's a very good aesthetic choice. It's very cartoonish, very comic book strip style animation, but that's all it needs. It doesn't need to be super flashy and all that. As for a final thought, I think the game is great for people who want to play on a casual basis but want a more challenging game. It's very quirky style and it has a minimal story, so it's really pick up and play and put it down as soon as you're finished and you want to take a break. But as for a rating out of 10, this game, in my opinion, would get a 6.5. I really do want to rate it higher, and I feel as though the Nintendo Switch version gets a 6.5. I would possibly say that the other versions might get less, because to me it really does feel like that portable game. So based on the Nintendo Switch, I give it a 6.5. It is a great game, and I really do enjoy it, and I love sitting down and playing it while we're watching a movie or something, and that's the the great thing about having it on the Switch, that I can pick it up and play it in my hands and not have to have it on the TV. But it is a great game. I really do enjoy it, and I just feel as though that the Nintendo Switch does have that upper hand. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's the second kind of scripted review I have done. I feel like there's a lot more I probably could have spoken about if I had been able to get 100% of the game, but I didn't want to leave it too long. I wanted to give the review because it's been out for a couple weeks now, and I really wanted to share my opinion in case you're looking at the game and going, do I want to get that? It is a fun game. If you really want a more casual game that's really challenging, definitely pick it up. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll have a link to my Zelda Breath of the Wild review video somewhere on the screen. I'll have a link to maybe a playlist of all my reviews that I've done so far, and I'll put another link to subscribe to the channel, and I might put a viewer recommendation by YouTube, what best suits you. I kind of did that on the last video, so if you're watching these, you'll probably see that. It's going to be kind of standard. But yes, I don't know what game I'm going to review next. I'm going to start looking at other consoles. I thought I'll just do Nintendo Switch for now, seeing as it's my new console and getting the new games, and we'll go from there. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to review next. I have no plans. I'm just going to pick something up and go, let's review this. But I'll diversify the consoles as we go. I just thought I'd start with the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, anyway, click one of the videos, go to something else. Have a great one.